maybe we've accumulated a bunch of sewage, so we want to go with a bigger pipe. So I can select this pipe, and right up here it says swap part, and I can just change to a 10-inch pipe. Just that simple. You know, and same thing as I get further, I can change this one to a 10-inch pipe just by going to swap part. Oops. Anyway, so the point is, even if you make it from objects, it's pretty easy to change the parts after. Even the manhole, I could select a manhole, go swap part, and I could change to a different type of manhole. So even if you make it by objects, you're not really that stuck, because it's pretty easy to change parts. Okay, so let's go now. Okay, so I want to start at observation 650 approximately. So I'm going to start here, I'm going to be going to the left, so I'm going downhill. So I go to Pipe Network, Creation Tools. Okay, I'll call it Sanitary 1 again. Okay, what parts do I want to choose? I want to use the sanitary sewer pipes as opposed to the storm sewer pipes. The surface name is going to be roadway top. The alignment in this case is North Street. And I won't put any labels on, okay? So I won't add anything here. Okay, so this is slightly different than the last one. We're just telling what the parts list we want to use, and the surface and the alignment. Okay, remember those three things? We chose them. Okay, everybody clear? Okay, I can hit OK now. Now we got a toolbar. Okay, so this is how we're going to build it. So this first one says is for the parts list. It's parts list sanitary sewer. If I had made a mistake, I could click this and change my parts list. Okay, actually, so anyway, this is the icon for surfaces. So if I didn't choose the right surface, I could click this and pick the correct surface. Okay, so if I picked the wrong alignment, I could pick this and change the alignment. So everything I did in the first place, if I did any mistakes, I could change it now. Okay, and this is the parts list actually. Okay? Here's the parts list. Okay, so if I picked the wrong parts list, I could change it as well. Okay, so everything is still available even if you didn't fill in anything in the first part. Now we're saying what structure do I want to use? So I'm going to use the same one we used before, 48-inch concrete manhole. Okay, and I'll use an 8-inch pipe. Okay, and I have a few choices. Okay, now am I going up, downhill, uphill? I said if I'm starting this way and going to the left, I'm going downhill. So make sure this thing points downhill. Okay, you have to establish that because again, it's going to use the pipe rules, but it needs to know which way we're going. Okay, and finally, this is where you draw. Okay,
Professor,
I can either draw pipes and structures, pipes only, or structures only.
that one always making sure the arrow is facing down.
Yeah.
If you were to click it but not press anything, would the arrow change? What meaning could you change the direction?
Yeah, change it like that.
Okay, just making sure that's why you change it.
So I want to, you have to tell me which way you're going, uphill or down.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
so in this case here, we want to do pipes and structures, so I'll click pipes and structures, and now I just have to click that. Sort of same as the other ribbons we've used, toolbars we've used, so I click this, and now it says specify the insertion point. Okay, so I'm just going to go around 650, and I'm going to go over here onto the shoulder of the road, and I'm going to click over here, and now I'm going to go down to around 575, that's around there, and put another one on the side of the road, and you can see what happens, it rubber bands from one to another. Now I'm going to go to around 525.
Professor, do that over, please.
I'm going to go to 350. What's that?
Do that over, please. When you press from the top there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I just pick this.
Yeah.
And then it's asked me to insert manuals.
Okay.
Okay, so I just inserted a bunch of manuals.
Between 6 and 7.
What?
No, I'm looking at the station.
Yeah, again,
650.
just approximated, right? I just put one at approximately 650, one at approximately 575, so forth. Okay, I mentioned before, whenever you do this, it's sort of almost useless. In one view, we need to put it in profile as well. Okay, so how do we get it in profile? It's exactly the same as what we did before. I can select a manhole and a pipe, right click and say select similar. It selects the whole network, right? And then I can go draw parts in profile. Or else, if I want, I can go into my prospector, into networks, here's sanitary one, right click and say select, and it selects the whole network.
Right, yeah, no, for this
Okay,
sanitary.
one way or the other, I have to
Yeah,
select
notice.
everything, yep. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I've drawn the manholes, and now I wanna select them, so I can just go into my prospector right here, under networks, right click, on sanitary one, say select, and it selects that whole network. Once that network is selected, up in the ribbon, you'll see, it says draw parts and profile. How else could I get to that draw parts and profile? Well, I can just right click, and here's draw parts and profile, so it's always available. So I'm gonna right click, draw parts and profile, it says select the profile, I wanted to put in the North Street profile, so there I'll go click this, and now I have those parts in profile, okay? You can see from where I started right here, it's going downhill.
Would you have to click exactly on that?
Anywhere on the grid, anywhere on the grid, it says profile view, you pick the grid on.
Sumo. Yeah, click on the round.
I'm gonna split my screen just so I can demonstrate something else.
Good profile again. I get to the profile. I am
Okay, so right here, if I grab this manhole by the grip right here, watch what happens when I move it. If I move it, it moves and the pipes move with it. Okay, and you'll see in the profile view down below, it moves there as well. Okay, so if I want to move a manhole, you can move the manhole, the pipes will move with it. Okay, we all see that? Okay, now I'll hit escape once. Now if I grab just the pipe and pull it off, notice what happens in both views. I pull the pipe off the manhole. I'll do the other one as well. I'll grab the pipe, grab this grip, pull it off, and now you can see it's pulled it off. Okay, so if you grab a manhole and move it, the pipes move with it. If you grab a pipe and pull the end, it just detaches. Okay, now if you want to reattach the pipe, you have to, what you want to do, first of all, is you want to always turn off your object snap, okay? So my object snap is off, so that's not a problem. Now I'm going to grab this pipe here, I'm going to grab this grip, hey. I'm going to pull it towards here, and right now, you see this thing? I'm going to refer to this little bullseye here as a glyph. Okay, so when you see the glyph, it means it's going to connect onto that manhole. So you don't want to have the snap on, because if I had a snap on, I don't know what it's going to do. It's going to snap to, it could snap to the center of the circle and at zero elevation or something. So again, when you see the glyph, it's going to reattach. Okay, so I'll just pull it in here. I see the glyph, click. I'll do the same thing with this one. Grab it, pull it. When I see the glyph, click, and there it's reattached. Actually, I'm gonna pull this one off a bit, because I can do the same thing in here. Okay. I'm gonna pull it over here. Actually, this is not. Oh, maybe I can't do it. I haven't even tried it. No, I guess you can't do it here. You have to do it in the plan view. Okay, see the glyph, but, okay, so that's how you reattach it. Anything else you wanna say here? Okay, so that's just a simple demonstration of that one. Okay. So I mentioned the parts list before. As we're doing this, you know, you can adjust the parts list. Let me just select this. If I select a pipe or a manhole, right over here it says edit pipe network, so that'll open this ribbon again. So say I wanted more parts. Say I don't have enough pipes here. Here's a bunch of pipes. I wanted more pipes. I can go to the parts list, and it's sanitary sewer. Right here, I could say edit current selection. Okay, so here's my sanitary pipes. Here, if I click that. So those are the pipes that I have available. Hey guys, if you're gonna talk, it's very distracting to me, and I'd rather do it on the side.
Networks.
Okay, so if I want to add pipes, I can just right click here, say add a part size, and then I can add another part size. I don't know what pipes I have now. I'll say 30. Okay, now I've added a 30-inch pipe. Okay, so you can always add more parts if you want. Okay,
Can you do it one more
you wanna see it again?
Yeah.
Do that whole section one at a time.
Okay, so, I'll just close this. Okay, so here's the parts list icon.
How did you, Professor, did you select the type first?
Yes, so I'll go right to this right here.
Thank
Okay,
you.
If I've lost my ribbon, I select this, edit pipe network, that'll open my ribbon
Oh,
again.
okay.
And here's my parts list right there. Click it, and then I can actually create a brand new parts list. Again, as opposed to editing it. So instead, let's make a new one, just for hell of it. I'll say create new parts list. I'll call this one my parts list, just what's original I have. Okay, and then pipes, and I'll just right click and say add a part family. So instead of the PVC pipes, I wanna add high density polyethylene. Okay, now I've added high density polyethylene. Now I can right click and say add a part size, and I can just start adding part sizes. Okay, so that now I've got a 10-inch. If I wanted to add all the high density polyethylene pipes, I could right click here, say add part size, and
Oh my
right here,
God.
it says add all sizes. If I click this, it's adding every high density polyethylene pipe. Okay, and the same thing applies for structures. Here, again, this is my new parts list. So it comes with a null parts structure, but, and I'll say add part part size, or whatever, family. And I'll say, I don't know, you can see sort of what they look like, all the different manholes. So I'll just pick any manhole. Okay, and then, oops. Do I not pick one? Add part family, I'll just pick one. Okay, and, I don't know why I didn't add that. I don't know why I didn't. Okay. Wow. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, so anyway, that's how you add, now I can change my parts list to my, I didn't finish the whole process. But anyway, you can modify these or change them rather easily. Now, if I didn't want to do it there, I could go into settings and under pipes, the pipe network, there it is, parts list. Here's my parts list. And again, I could change it, I could add one here too. I could right click and say create new parts list, or I can, edit this one. Okay, so you can edit these things on the fly, or you can go into settings and do it that way. I'm not gonna ask you to do that stuff, but it's not really good. Now I was mentioning that there's rules. So here, in settings, it says rules, pipe rule set. And so let's just click on what the rule set is. I'll say edit. So here's the rules for this type that we've got, the base rule set. So it's saying the minimum slope is 1%, maximum is